Hello and welcome to Grey County Life. My name is JC Coutts.
I'm Sarah Carmichael. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. JC, it has been a busy weekend going into the new week. It's just all a big blur, right? I mean, last weekend we had the musical ride, and then the weekend we just had, we had Rib Fest.
That's right. Oh, so good. The ribs in Owen Sound. I love Rib Fest every year. They get all these great, big, huge ribbers. Usually they come from anywhere across North America. And yes, they serve ribs, but in some cases you can get brisket. In some cases you can get burnt ends, which are kind of like brisket, but really, really good. Pulled pork is always a big one. The beans. I'm still hungry. Do I still have sauce on me from the weekend?
Don't forget the bloomin' onion too. That one is a popular dish. I'm not one for the ribs. I have a thing about eating meat off bones. I don't know why. It's a thing. But I definitely still took part in Rib Fest. I went for the pulled pork and the bloomin' onion and the music. Of course, there was live music throughout the entire weekend at the Bayshore Community Center. And a big thank you to the organizers and the volunteers, and of course to those who attended and filled up their tum-tums. I'm sure that you might still be full right now. And then of course, musical ride with the RCMP was there as well at the Bayshore, and that was an incredible fundraiser for the Rotary Club. And we're actually going to talk to Brad Locking a little bit later on the show about the Rotary Club and their next fundraiser that they're doing. But if you were there at the musical ride, hopefully you enjoyed yourself. It started off with an equestrian presentation, and then there was a nice presentation from the Grace organization and also the Super Dogs. That was pretty cool. There was Super Dogs that were running through the arena catching frisbees and doing little dance numbers, and it was pretty cool. It was funny because after watching it, Ryan and I went, and he was like, "Do you think we could train our dogs to do some of those tricks?" And I was like, I don't think there's enough treats in the world to keep their attention, because they're just like off the wall crazy all the time. So the amount of training that went into those dogs learning those tricks is probably incredible. So, you know, us being dog owners, it gave us a whole nother appreciation, I think, for them, because we know how hard they probably had to work even to just keep their dogs focused for enough time to be able to learn the little tricks.
I was just amazed in seeing the photos, and I know that you went to the musical ride, that it was an indoor event. When I heard that the musical ride is coming and you're going to have the RCMP and their horses, you're going to think, well, this needs space. This is going to be outside. Plus, the ice just went in like 5 minutes ago for the Owen Sound attack. So this is going to be inside, and sure enough, it was, and they pulled it off without a hitch.
Yeah, they got rid of the ice. They brought in dump trucks full of dirt, and they put like a thick dirt floor all around the arena for the horses and for the Super Dogs, and it was pretty cool to see. And then of course they've been working steadily getting rid of all that dirt, and they've got the ice going back in this week because the Owen Sound Attack will have their final preseason game at the Bayshore this Saturday, taking on the Barrie Colts at 2 o'clock. So if you'd like to get in on that for the preseason, you can buy yourself tickets for it, and their home opener is going to be on September 30th against Barrie as well.
Yeah, I will be at that game, of course, hosting with the Attack crew. Also coming back this year will be Adrian Musso and Mark McKelvey, so we're looking forward to bringing you that first Attack home game, which coincidentally will also be against the Barrie Colts on the 30th. Also this weekend, too, one event that maybe you didn't get to go and attend it, but you'll get to see it here on Rogers TV. We had crews there, was the Concours d'Elegance over at Cobble Beach. Classic cars are part of this event. A lot of fancy hats are also part of this event.
A lot of fascinators being worn.
Yes. Have you had a chance to ever check out that event?
I was there on the Saturday actually when they did the Cars and Coffee event downtown. So they had cars that were lined up down 2nd Avenue, and then they had a bunch of different places from around the downtown serving coffee. So that's exactly what it was, the coffee and cars. All the cars that were on display had to be at least 25 years old. And then on the flip side of the river on 1st Avenue West, they actually had the Concours de Lemon, which was basically a celebration of the jalopy type vehicles, like the dilapidated. It was like the rustier the better. Like that was literally the Concours de Lemon, right? And so that was going on in front of the library for a few hours on Saturday afternoon, and then the Cars and Coffee was on 2nd Avenue on Saturday morning. And so that was pretty cool to see everybody out out enjoying those beautiful cars. For those who weren't able to go to Cobble Beach on the Sunday, right, it still gave you an opportunity to check out some of the vehicles that are on display. And what's really neat about it is because the concourse, the cars can only be in it every 4 years. So it is a possibility that the car you saw this past weekend, you might not see it again, right? Because it could be sold to someone else in the next 4 years. It could be maybe shipped overseas to a collector or something like that. So it is possible that some of the cars you saw, you may never see them again, which is kind of wild.
It is an amazing event. Of course, it goes on every year out at Cobble Beach, and you'll be able to watch some scenes from this year's event. Daryl and Mark, our crew from Rogers TV, put together that event, and that will be coming on shortly. I got to do something over the weekend that I had never done before. I went to the Lucknow Fall Fair to a cattle show. My niece Rachel was showing. It was the 160th Fall Fair. I've never been to a cattle show. I didn't know what to bring.
Really?
I wasn't sure how many beers you're supposed to have while you watch a cattle show, but it was amazing. Probably my highlight from the day, not just seeing her, and she was amazing. And the 4-H Club is amazing as well out of Huron County. But the tractor pull, I'd never been to a tractor pull before.
Yeah.
I got really into it, actually. Like to the point where if it's going to be on like ESPN, I might want to watch a tractor pull at some point. So I guess I'm becoming a little hillbilly.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's
I
all right.
actually grew up doing 4-H, so it is definitely something I'm very familiar with. The cow showing, the sheep showing, the demolition derby, all those things that encompass fall fairs, near and dear to my heart for sure.
Well, as I learned, 4-H isn't just for rural people. Anybody can participate in 4-H, and you do learn a lot.
It's true. And what was the name of her cow?
It was Daisy.
Of course it was.
Yes. She's not always the most creative with her cow names. The first one I think was Moo Moo, so she's getting better anyway.
Amazing.
Speaking of amazing, we have an amazing show coming up. Our guests joining us momentarily will be Kat from Big Brothers Big Sisters Grey Bruce. We're going to talk about their Golf for Kids' Sake that's coming up on Saturday, September 23rd. We're also going to be joined by Brad Locking from Owen Sound Rotary. They've got their poker night coming up September 21st, and still some spots available too. We'll learn more about that event. And we didn't have her here last week, but she is now back. Renee from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter with an animal looking for a new forever home. All of that coming up on today's edition of Grey County Life on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
This is a perfectly healthy child. What's unhealthy are birth alerts, a racist practice that may stop this Indigenous mother from going home with her newborn. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. We are joined in studio by Kat Scott. She is with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hello.
Hi, thanks so much for having me today.
Of course, welcome. So it's a busy time right now
It is.
Because you're getting ready for your golf fundraiser, the Golf for Kids' Sake.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's our 7th annual, which we're really excited about. Just goes to show how many people want to keep coming back and playing this awesome tournament. So it's on Saturday, September 23rd at the Sawbull Golf and Country Club. It'll be from about 12 o'clock to about 8 p.m. that evening. And we have 3 great event sponsors that are supporting us through this event. We have Scotia Wealth Management, Beyond Reach Productions, and the Power Workers Union. And then, of course, the community and all the local businesses that have also supported this event. So we're really blessed.
Yeah, and you always end up with so many great prizes, the silent auction table.
Yeah.
We've both played in this tournament in the past, so we can definitely speak to how fun it is. And it's not serious, like, I am a terrible golfer, and I had so much fun because
awesome.
it's not, serious, and we're just there to raise some money and support a great organization. And so people of all golf experiences are welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love how you put that, because, I mean, there are people that are definitely avid golfers,
Yes.
and there are people who just want to come out and have a good time. We like to say it's where play meets social impact. And yeah, like, I think that goes to show again that we have people coming back year after year. I mean, you speak so highly of it. And it's also a 4-person scramble.
Yeah.
So that really helps that if you're feeling maybe a little intimidated by your own skill, it's going to be the best shot every time. And so you can also, if you're working with a great team, then awesome, right? And it just allows the play to move throughout the day.
Yeah, when we took part in it, we were matched up with one of the mentors and the mentees in the program. And the mentor, Andrew, he definitely carried us through the whole game.
So good.
He was so good. And we're like, thank goodness, like he's on our team, right? Because I'm pretty sure it was his ball every time that we ended up
Pretty
going
much.
with.
Or the mentees sometimes, too. He was pretty good, too.
Or the kids, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And this year, I mean, we're going to miss you too this year, of course. But this year we have the great Paul Hill from CFOS coming on out. He's going to be emceeing, and he's also going to be with our match, our big and little as well on the greens. So we're looking forward to that.
He's a much more experienced golfer than JC and I, so I'm sure he'll have a little bit more of a serious round, if you will, but I think it'll be fun for him. Now, as far as the event goes, as you said, it is the 4-person scramble. You start, you golf, and then at the end you come in and there's a dinner.
Yeah, we have a steak dinner or chicken dinner or a vegetarian option dinner, depending on what you want. So it is going to be a full day. We've got the 18 holes. We've got carts included with that. We've got the silent auction. We'll have contests. And then, of course, we finish the evening with the banquet. So it's a really nice encompassing day to meet new people, to hang out with your friends, and really just have a good time. Yeah.
Awesome.
And there's going to be a silent auction as well. There always is. What are some of the bigger items that people might want to keep an eye out for this year? Something that they might want to make sure, okay, the credit card is clear because I'm going to be putting it down on this.
Yeah, good question. I mean, first I have to say I am floored with the generosity of this community. Like, I know that businesses are always getting asked by organizations that have lots of need, and we have so many great organizations in the community. So I'm just so grateful to those who have decided to support us this time around. And yeah, I mean, just it blows me away. But we are seeing different items from delicious dinners out, romantic nights out at restaurants. We have days out on the golf course. We have paddle and kayak events that are being auctioned off. So there really is a plethora. We've got jewelry, a whole lot of different things that people can put their credit card down for, as you say.
Plan to bring money and spend money, because this is a huge fundraiser, and this is really this is one of the bigger ones that Big Brothers Big Sisters Grey Bruce does in a year. So the funds raised here really do make a difference to executing those programs that run throughout the years. Like, you pretty much run programming, I think, every weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean that can be answered in a couple of different ways. So yeah, there's always something going on. This event is one of 3 events that we generally run every year that account for about 20% of our programming costs. And so 100% of these proceeds are going towards our youth and our families. That's what we're here for, is to focus on youth and families in our community, and our programs and our services. So, for example, example, we have our one-to-one matches, which I can go into in a little bit, and our school programming. But as you're saying, like we have something going on every weekend. The last Wednesday of every month, we have youth council. The last Saturday of every month, we have our outdoor wellness program. And then once a month, we also have a big bunch program, which is open to all youth to come out, and we do different things. We go to the Bruce County Museum, we go to the splash pad, a whole lot of different things. So this fundraising is going right back to these programs directly. And we have about 160 youth in our programs right now. Wow. I think it was in 2016, I want to say that we had about 20. And so we have grown exponentially. By the end of the year, we'll probably see about 200. So we're serving a lot of youth in our community.
Wow, that just shows how great of a need there is, the fact that the numbers have gone up so consistently over the last 6-7 years. And so it's incredible that you're able to accommodate and continue to grow your programming and grow your reach, because with Big Brothers Big Sisters now reaching into Simcoe County, as the Collingwood chapter did kind of close their doors a few years back, but there was still youth over there that would benefit. So your organization, the Grey Bruce organization, is now stretching over that way, which is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we are now, we'll have official branding hopefully in a few months, but we are Grey Bruce and Western Simcoe, because as you're saying, we had an organization shut down during COVID. We did take on a number of those matches and youth that wanted to continue in the program. And so our catchment, really is quite big. And I think too, the pandemic was hard on a lot of people, right? And so we have seen mental health rise within our community, with families. We've seen poverty rise. We've seen, there's been pandemic-related learning loss. Like, there's a number of factors that our organization is really supporting and trying to come in and provide relief around.
About how many, because you said you're almost around 200 mentee or 200 youths that are taking advantage of the programming, but how many mentors do you have? How many bigs are in Big Brothers Big Sisters Grey Bruce? Yeah,
good question. So we have probably about 50 matches just over, which is, and these matches, so we recommend or we ask for about a year to connect with a youth. So we have our mentee, which is our little, and our mentor, which is our big, and so we ask for a year commitment on that. And so in our 50 matches, we have people who've just started out, as well as people who have been matched for 4, 5, 6 years. But we also have about 80 youth still waiting for matches. So we still have quite a number that are coming out to our big bunch, who can still come out to our programming. We really want to support in any way that we can, but are still looking for that one-on-one time slot.
Right.
What is the process for people that are interested in becoming a mentor or a big with Big Brothers Big Sisters? How long does it take from when you first inquire to the point where you might actually be matched up with a child? Yeah, it depends on how quickly the mentor goes through the process too, just filling out paperwork, you're getting police sector checks, all that sort of thing. But just a few months, you can really be set up with your match. And so with that too, you're really taken through every step of the way by our mentorship coordinators. We have 2 right now, Drew and Tiana, who are incredible. And so whether it's you just want a phone and just have a direct conversation right off the bat and be like, hey, can you tell me more about your programming or what my options are for volunteering, or hopping onto our website and filling out a volunteer application, someone gets back to you in just a few days and then takes you through the process. So in just a few months, you can be matched up, and you can really start that. It is a really special relationship to be able to be in a youth's life. I often think about it as, when a friend calls you up and they want to tell you about something that's gone, had a hard day or something they're excited about, and you feel really special and honored that they've called you up. And that's what this relationship is about, right? There is a youth that you are seeing multiple times a month that's really trusting you with their growth through often turbulent times in our teenage years, right? That looks up to you for some problem solving, that wants to hear your advice, and then wants to share their worldview. We see so many matches that have just really, opened each other up, right? Whether it's I'm used to playing video games and now they're spending a lot more time outside, or hey, I didn't think about the world this way, and the way you brought it up made me reconsider. These matches are really something special for both the mentor and the mentee.
Absolutely, they become a confidant, right, to the littles, and it's great too because with the process of matching, you look at the interests of the big and the little, and see if there's something in common, something that they could build on. Like for instance, I know friends of mine have been bigs in the program, and let's say a friend of mine really loves to bake. Well, they could get matched up with a little that likes to bake, and that's something they can do together and make those memories in that way. And it really is a lasting bond. I mean, my boyfriend actually was a big for a few years, and he still talks to the little who's like 20 years old, 21 years old now, and he's still in contact with him and his family, and they created a friendship that's lasted quite a few years. So it's
incredible.
It's not just like once the kids out of the program, you're done. It is definitely a relationship that you could maintain for many years.
Yeah, I mean, you do bring up a couple of great points there. One, I love hearing that, right? Like I am always surprised and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but like walking around our community, when people know that I'm working for Big Brothers Big Sisters, I hear these stories randomly when I'm meeting people where they're just like, I'm still in touch with my big brother or my big sister, or I was a little, and I felt really heard, and it really helped me take some risks on going to school or trying this new opportunity, and yeah, these relationships really do last, and we do focus on matching up people that have similar interests because you want to spend that time and you want it to be a reciprocal relationship for both parties. But as well, you also find out, maybe I didn't realize that I was interested in biking, but my big or my little is, and we've tried it out, now I really like it. So yeah, there's so much growth that can happen there for both parties.
There's obviously a lot that's involved, a lot of responsibility in being a big, but in terms of the actual commitment itself, about how many times a month? 2, 3, 4 times a month is the commitment?
Yeah, so what we recommend in that year commitment is twice a month, a couple of hours, and that can be something that the big and the little set up on themselves. Maybe they want to go for a bike ride, they want to do some art, they want to do some baking, but it can also include coming out to the events that we set up, our outdoor wellness programs and our big brunch program. So we really leave that up to what works for that relationship. And then we do have our in-school programming as well. So it's a little less of a time commitment. That one is if a mentor wants to support youth in school with our Learn It program, for example, which is pandemic-related learning loss, focuses on numeracy and literacy. That's about once a week for about 4 months. So there are different opportunities to volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters and support our community and really create a thriving environment. But the one-to-one mentoring is what most people know. It is a longer commitment, and then we have our in-school, which is a bit of a shorter experience.
And of course, your organization is overseen by a board of directors.
Yes.
And I know in the past they've been looking for more members. Is that still the case? Are you always looking for more people to kind of come on board with that?
To join our board?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say right now we've gotten some great applications. We have some new board members that have recently joined, but we truly do believe that there's strength in numbers, and we want people in this community to really bring their skills aboard, because we can benefit that. And we've been in the community since about 1960, so we have really deep roots here. So if we can continue to bring people onto our board who are really excited about what we're doing, we know we're better for it. So if people want to apply, they absolutely can. If you head to our website, which is graybruce.bigbrothersbigsisters.ca, there is a little icon there that says interested in joining our board. Click here, and please click there.
Right.
Obviously, the golf date's going to be a big day coming up on the 23rd, on the Saturday. Is there still an opportunity for people to register? Are there still teams available?
There are. So we are looking for a total of about 28 teams, and we have about 5 teams left. A team is about 4 people. And yeah, we'd love. People want to join up sooner rather than later. That's always beneficial, because we'll be putting our numbers in by the end of next week, and then time is coming up quickly. But yeah, we have about 5 team spots, and we're excited to get those filled. And
you mentioned this day is one of about 2 or 3 big events that happen on the Big Brothers calendar in the year. What are the other big ones that you look forward to? So the bowling event, our Bowl for Kids' Sake, is definitely probably one of our most popular.
we still did that during the pandemic online. Kala, who was in this role previously that a lot of people know, like, I'm so impressed, like, spearheaded that.
Yeah, we both tried the virtual bowling.
We weren't good.
We were terrible.
But you showed up, and that's what counts. And the fact that there was still an event to show up to. I love that you two did that.
We tried.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So that's one of our big ones this year. We had pickleball, and so that was our first time doing that, and we had a lot of enthusiasm around that. And so, in the future, we'll definitely keep some of our favorites like the bowling and the golf, whether we try some new things. We have coins for kids that come up in the fall as well, so we'll be getting ready for that. We usually focus with small businesses and schools on that one. And then we have our Secret Santa that's going to come up in the winter, where we'll do another another fundraising campaign that will support the youth during the holiday season. So
yeah, it's pretty incredible. I love the coins for kids because like the kids actually get involved with collecting all the coins.
Yeah.
Because then there's I think there's little prizes that they could win if they collect a certain amount, and
exactly.
You know that they're like rummaging through every couch cushion in their house. Looking and stealing all the coffee change out of their parents' vehicles, they're doing that, right? And
absolutely.
It's like I remember when it was UNICEF, and I remember doing that. I remember going through my dad's truck and collecting off the floor, taking every dime I could find for my UNICEF box so that I could have the fullest one when I went back to school. And I imagine kids doing that.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is, right? They can take it out during Halloween or beforehand and raise funds just like UNICEF. Yeah. That's what I used to do. Yeah. I love how much you two know about the organization. It's obviously, it shows how much you care and about the community at large and what we're doing, and it's so appreciative. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of amazing people that run that organization. You're one of the newest faces there, but Beth Aubrey, I believe, is still the president there. And she's
incredible. Yeah, she's our ED. So yeah, she's been there, I think, about 2 years now, and we are just so lucky to have her leading this ship. And then we have Dan Snow, who is our president of the board, who is also absolutely incredible leader. And we're just really lucky to have people who just, really want to show up for what we're doing and for our community as a whole, be leading our great organization.
Wow.
Amazing.
Hopefully some will show up as future mentors, perhaps, because there's always a need there. You mentioned 80 kids that are right now on a list waiting for potential bigs to come and help be a future mentor. Again, the website that you can go to is Big Brothers Big Sister, or graybruce.bigbrothersbigsisters.ca. That's also where you can go to get information coming up on the Big Golf Day, which is Saturday, September 23rd at the golf course in Sauble Beach. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This was fantastic.
Stay tuned. We are going to be joined very momentarily by Brad Locking from the Owen Sound Rotary Club to talk about the big poker night coming up.
Johnny wanted to go back home. It was 1,000 kilometers away. They forced him to go to the Indian residential school. More than 150,000 of us children had to go. They wanted to change us.
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name.
Hallowed be your name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
Kill the Indian and the child. It's been called cultural genocide. I survived residential school. My brother Johnny did not.
Chani Wenjack was one of thousands of children who died due to Canada's residential school system. More than 80,000 survivors and their families still live with its legacy today.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
And welcome back to Great County Life. We are joined now by by a member of the Rotary Club of Owen Sound. Brad Locking is here. Hi, Brad. How are you today?
Hello, everyone. How are you tonight?
We're very good. Thanks for joining us. I know we're going to talk in a moment here about the big poker night that's coming up. First, though, I wanted to ask you, because you guys just finished an event. You just had the musical ride. How did that event go?
Yeah, we did. It was the first time it's been here in a long time. We've been 4 years in the works trying to get the RCMP musical ride to the event, to the Bay Shore, and it went really well. It was a lot of work to get that in. We had to put in 7 inches of soil to cover the whole gym floor, arena floor. So that was a lot of work behind the scenes for the Rotarians, but people that went really enjoyed it. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was. I actually went to the Sunday show, and I really enjoyed it. And it was great to see so many people there with their kids, and the kids love seeing the horses and the precision and the amount of time that I would imagine that goes into the training for the RCMP is just incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty neat to watch, and how organized they are with these big animals that sometimes have a mind of their own, but they seem to pull it off very well.
Well, there might be some big animals maybe playing a different game, poker, pretty soon for the Rotary Club. That's because the annual poker night is coming up. It's going to be on Thursday, September 21st. First of all, tell us, what does this night benefit? Who's the main benefactor of this evening for the Rotary Club?
So this is roughly about our 10th year doing this. We had to take a couple years off, obviously, for COVID, but we're back at it. And the main benefactor is the Owen Sound Rotary Club. And we're using the proceeds from next Thursday night's event to help our Camp Presqu'île, which is the Rotary Youth Camp, which we're in partnership with at the Y. And the Y administers the camp for us, but the camp is owned by the Rotary Club, and we need to put a kitchen on. It's badly in need of a renovation to the kitchen, and it's a $350,000 bill, so it's a big job. So everything we're raising in lately is going towards this is for the camp. So with the event for Thursday night, 100% of the money that's raised by the attendees goes towards the camp, 100%. So the sponsors cover the cost of the professional dealers. So every dime that is spent next Thursday night, 100% of it goes to the kids. There's no administration fee. We don't take any money at all. So that's people can have a good feeling, know that everything they do is going towards the kids.
And how many spots are going to be available for this night if people are thinking about signing up? Because to run a successful poker event, you can only have a certain number of tables and spots going. So what's the event going to be capped at?
Our cutoff number is 120. Right now, we're about 50% sold. Owen Sound being the way it is, last minute, everybody comes in the last week and panics. But we have had years we had to cut off players because the professional dealers that we have that come up from out of Toronto, they'll send up a dealer per table. So there's one dealer per 10 at a table, 10 players. So they will only send up what we have tickets sold for. So if we get extra players, we don't have a dealer for them, so we just can't open the gates up to just to whoever. But it's in the past we've had between 110 to 120 players, so it's a great night out. I guess I could start the registration is at 6:00, and at 7:00 we get underway, and there's intermission partway through. The Owen Sound Rotary Club puts on a lunch for everybody. It's homemade food. It's not pizza. It's the real deal that Jill and Bobby spent hours getting ready, preparing, and everybody loves the meal. And we can go from there.
Yeah. Now, do you need to be an experienced poker player in order to participate?
That's a great question. No, there are some people that are really, really good players, and there's some people that are just beginners, and that's fine. It's all different levels. And since everybody's playing for charity, it's a whole different vibe in the game. It's not, we've seen in the past, when people play for money, it's a different deal. They're very competitive. They're very, they're very serious. When this is completely for fun, everybody's relaxed. They have a great time, and it's a good fun night for everybody. And some of the best poker players we have, they could be out in the first round, or we've had inexperienced players make it right to the last table. So it really doesn't matter what your ability is. The poker players would probably shoot me for this comment, but a lot of it's just luck, I think. Depends what cards you get.
Well, it is. I mean, there's strategy to it too, but of course, as I said, it all depends on the cards you're dealt. I'm not a poker player myself. I've had numerous people try to teach me over the years, but it's never really sunk in. So that's why I was asking, because I said I have the very, very bare, minimum understanding of poker hands. And I was like, would I make a fool of myself if I decided to go out for this? But as you said, it's all for fun anyway. So I feel like I wouldn't be judged too harshly.
And no, and that's a great question, because we don't want to be intimidated. You don't want to intimidate anybody, because there's so many, like say, serious poker games. People are scared to come. Like, no way am I coming out to that. This one's just a night of fun. So anybody it's learning, the dealers will help you. The people beside you will help you if you're challenge or have any challenges along the way. They'll work with you, and it's just a fun night, and everybody really does have a good time. We've been doing it for quite a few years. I reiterate, we did have to take off a few years for COVID, so people are anxious to get back and play some cards. Get a night out.
Obviously, the big incentive is what people are playing for. The cash is going to the kids. We know that, but there is a big trip that's going to be given away as part of the grand prize.
There are quite a few prizes we give away. We're in excess of $10,000 in prizes. Our number one prize is Taylor Graham from the TG Group. He's our main sponsor, and he sponsors a certificate for a trip. So you can use the money and go wherever you want. And then we also have some GoPros donated. We have Leafs tickets. We've got rounds of golf with Legacy and Saugeen. We have a lot of great gifts, and there's still gifts coming in. And you don't have to be at the top table to get a gift. We do gifts throughout the night. So there's a lot of great things to win. The last 9 players go to the final table, and that's when it's televised by Rogers, and that's where the larger prizes are won, and it just goes through elimination, and sometimes that goes into 12 o'clock at night. Depends how serious the guys get at the end. But
yeah. I'm imagining like these 9 people, they've got their glasses on so you can't read their eyes, and like the lights are dimming, and it's just getting very intense. But also, as you said, it's all for a great cause at the end, and raising money for that kitchen renovation. Super important. I myself have been to Camp Presqu'île. I was a camper there a few years ago, many years ago. And so, I definitely recognize the need for the update and how important the camp is to our community. So it's great that you're able to fundraise and make these changes. And, the camp is it's so significant for so many of us. So it's definitely a great cause. Now, how much are the tickets for the poker night?
So the tickets are $100 in advance, and they're $125 at the door. Anybody can come to my store. A little plug for my business here, Locking Business Furnishings. Whenever you get a chance, stop by, get them, or give me a call on my cell phone, 519-375-7033. I can set aside tickets. I can meet you. We can do it, whatever you need to get your tickets. And it's nice to get them in advance. Saves you $25. Well,
and it gives you a better idea of how many dealers you need to confirm. So that's nice.
And thank you for that. That's an excellent point. If we know that we need more dealers, then we can add to that. If it's last minute at the door, it's very hard to determine our numbers.
Yeah.
In the background, I should show you. I'm off topic a bit, but we do this is a trophy for you get to take this home at the end of it and then keep it for the.
That's awesome.
One of our Rotarians just had that fixed up and brought in, so that's a little nice piece. We're gonna have some bagpiper pipe everybody in to the event, This is the first year we are doing that in on the Bay. So we're gonna, a little more central for people. We hope everybody enjoys that area.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a fun night.
Brad, obviously the Rotary Club is very active in Owen Sound. They're up to a lot, and I'm willing to bet that you're always on the lookout for new members and people that might be interested in joining. So if anyone is interested in becoming a Rotarian, how would they go about doing that?
Come see me. So I'm also I've been the membership guy for a lot of years. You miss the meet and you get that job. So anybody that would like to join the club, they can reach out to any Rotarian. We also have a website. You can join to the Rotary Club. Just give me a call anytime. My information is on the website, and we can just come and tell you what we're all about. It's a great club, great camaraderie. There's about 30 members right now. We're always looking for more members, and you can work as hard or as little as you'd like in the club. There's always lots to do, lots of fun. In the spring, we do a little cleanup of the camp and have some barbecues at the end, and then we take turns helping kids cook for the kids on Sunday nights at the camp. So we get to see what all the work we put into the camp, what actually happens. And we do other events besides just the camp. The camp is our main focus, but it's a good chance to get out and have some fun with some people when you get time. We always love to have new members.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that the Rotary works a lot with the Owen Sound Attack as like ushering at different games. So that's something that would be, helpful to have more people to cover up. And it's funny because even my neighbor recently joined the Rotary and she's already tried to recruit me.
Oh, perfect.
So don't worry. Like your members are doing what they need to do, trying to bring more people into the fold.
Well, that's excellent. That's good to hear.
Brad, you mentioned that the camp is kind of the main focus for Rotary and Owen Sound. Is there any other projects that you guys kind of work on throughout the course of the year?
You got me on the spot now. I should know that right off the bat. I know now the Rotarians that are watching they're gonna be kicking their TV right now, saying, "Hey, what about this? What about this? What about that?" We do a bunch of different things. We do the attack challenge. We do a golf tournament. I'm just trying to think. We do a lot of different things in the community. We're not very good at for a better word, blowing our own horns. We don't. We just kind of do stuff in the background and do a lot of things and don't say much about it. But there's so many different things that we do. I'm kind of trying to put off a list of what we do.
You're a humble organization.
We're too humble. We're so humble we forget what we do some days.
And Rotary kind of started too, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, but kind of one of the early missions, I think one of the ongoing missions is the eradication of polio. Is that something that the organization is still actively working on?
That is still very active. We partnered with Bill Gates from the Bill Gates Foundation. His father was a Rotarian, so he's really took that into his heart to eradicate polio, and we have worked really hard to get it down to just 4 countries left in the world, and there are the other part that spiked up, but that's a big part of Rotary's mission is to eradicate polio. So a lot of international work is done towards that, and Bill Gates has been very financially helpful in that area. So it's been a great thing.
And how often do you meet for Rotary? I think it's usually once a week with most clubs. So what's the day for you guys?
We meet. Can't talk to. We meet at the Inn on the Bay every Monday from 12:10 to 1:10, and you have to have lunch anyways. So you might as well come out and have lunch with us. And it's not a mandatory every week you have to be there because everybody has really busy lives. It's nice just to come out and check us out, and say anytime anybody wants to come check us out, I'll buy you lunch. Come see what the club's all about.
Perfect. And what's the website for you guys over at Rotary in Owen Sound?
Yeah, it's Owen Sound. I'm just good. Sorry, gotta get my glasses on. It's just the Rotary Club, www.owensoundrotary.ca.
Perfect.
All right, we've just put that up on the screen for everyone so that you can go and visit the website. Learn more about what Rotary Club does in Owen Sound. Learn how to become a member, and then you can reach out to Brad, and he'll buy you lunch, and you can go for a meeting.
Yeah. You could also talk to my neighbor because she speaks very highly of the Rotary Club.
That's
Brad,
excellent.
I feel like we've covered a lot today. Is there anything that we've missing, and anything that's unsaid about the Rotary Club in Owen Sound and what they do?
No, we're just a great group of people that really enjoy helping out our community. So any chance that you want to find a little bit more about us, and come check us out. I'm not going to lock you to the chair that make you stay. Just come check us out and see what it's about. And again, as mentioned, we're a very humble organization, and we don't do a lot of raw what we do. We do a lot of stuff in the background. But once people get out and see what we do, they're like, oh wow, this is a great thing I'd like to be part of. So if you get a chance, check us out online, or just come out for lunch some Monday. We'll buy you lunch.
Come to the poker nights and try your luck.
And poker night, we'd love to get you out to the poker night. People do have a lot of fun, and it's a lot of the same people coming back again saying they really enjoyed it. It's just
is there someone that's been kind of a champion that people should watch out for at these poker nights? Somebody that's a bit of a shark that's won a few years in a row?
No, it changes. It changes all the time, and that's the good part about it. Like I think kind of my favorite part is that the guys or girls that do win it, they're not pro players. They're not. And having said that, a lot of the really maybe the very strong professional players don't play at these type of events. They want to play at an event where they make a lot of money, so they're very serious. People that come to our event, they want to have a good time. They know they're playing for fun. It takes the seriousness out of it, and the guys at the top table or girls at the top table, they can almost be newbies too. So everybody's got a great chance. Everybody's got an equal chance of getting somewhere.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing better, and I'm a bit of a poker player myself. There's nothing I like to watch more than watching someone that's brand new to the game knock out someone that's been in the game a long time, and they're taking it way too seriously, and they get knocked out by someone going, "Oh, is this good? I didn't even know." So it's funny. It's not as funny when you're on the other end of it, but when you see it happen, it's pretty funny.
Match. Is that good? That would be me.
It's 100%.
And that might be your champion.
We've had guys they were number one winners, and then they're one of the first people out the next year. And they're like, what happened here? And they just say, well, the cards weren't working for me. So you just never know.
Well, just to recap, the big poker night coming up Thursday, September 21st at the Best Western Inn on the Bay in Owen Sound, hosted by the Owen Sound Rotary Club. Brad Locking is their president. He was our guest today. Brad, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on Great County Life.
Thank you very much for your time. I'm not the president. I'm the membership guy, but that's Rob Doors is our president this year. We change every year. Okay. But
you'll be the future president, Rob. Yeah. I'll vote for you.
Thanks again for your time. Thank you much for spreading the word. It really means a lot.
Hi, I'm David Sherman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show where my guest will be Ian Boddy, the mayor of Owen Sound. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
I did it. I need it.
A hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Attack Wrap set here. We're looking forward to the 2023-2024 Owen Sound Attack season. Next Tuesday on Attack Wrap, we're going to be welcoming the coaches, head coach Greg Walters. We've got both assistant coaches, Sean Teakle, Darren Rumble. They're going to be joining us here in studio to talk all about this upcoming season. So make sure you get those fingers ready on your phone. We're going to get some texting going on.
On Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Great County Life. Our final guest for today's show is Renee from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. Hello, Renee.
Hello.
How are you?
I am wonderful.
Good. Okay, so as everyone can see, you've brought us a kitty cat, and this kitty cat is looking for a home. So let's hear a little bit about him.
Well, this is my buddy Adam, and Adam is here representing himself as well as many of his friends. Adam is about 4 months old now and recently neutered, and one of many single, older than 8 weeks, younger than 8 months kittens that we've had come in throughout the last couple of weeks. With the seasons changing, we do tend to see a little more on the outside wandering cats, but as we can see, this little monkey has definitely not been a street cat for any period of time.
No, he looks pretty taken care of.
Yeah, what we think has happened, they're probably the last of their litters people couldn't find homes for, and unfortunately turned them loose. We hate to talk about that because people then feel like they shouldn't adopt Adam because they think there's something wrong with him, but that is not the case. People just aren't always the best. So we have this little monkey who is, like I said, 4 months of age, neutered, vaccinated, dewormed, and defleed. All of his vetting is done, which is why you want to adopt the older kitten, because our younger kittens don't get those things taken care of.
Right.
If you are not somebody who prefers an orange and white, although a lot of people do, which is why I brought him, we also have 2 gray and whites, Bubbles and Cosmo. We have Marco, who's a brown tabby. We have Langdon, who's black. We have Cotton, who's white. You get the point. We have a collection of 4 to 5 month old fixed cats right now.
In all colors.
All colors, all shapes, all sizes. These little singles take up a cage, which I know it's not something the rest of the world worries about, but when we have lots of singles and lots of cages being filled with singles, we then get others that have to wait to come in who may be in a dire situation, who we got to figure out where to put them. So
right, because if a litter comes in, you can have them together.
Exactly, but the singles have to stay single, which is kind of sad, right, buddy?
Right.
He is good with dogs and cats, and pretty much all of them are, so you could take 2 or 3 of those singles and do us a really big favor.
It might even be a discount for buying in bulk.
Buy 2, get 1 free. I don't know, teasing, but not really. They are, of course, a good alternative for somebody who wants a tiny kitten. Maybe you have children and you want them to grow up together. We hear a lot of that. Or you have another cat at home. It is easier to integrate a kitten or a young cat because they have no desire to be the boss, and it gives you the option to adopt somebody who's fixed, which saves you a whole lot of money, which may have been how these little monkeys ended up homeless. We're not sure.
Yeah.
Right? But you're super cute.
He's super sweet. He's obviously been well handled. So, you know, if you do have kids in the home and they, you know, want to play with them, shouldn't really be an issue. I mean,
not at all.
Certainly if they're young kids, always a good idea to be cautious with any animal generally, but he seems pretty darn content with this, and I love that his name's Adam because my brother, his name is Adam, and he's also a ginger. So it's just
he should take it.
I feel like he
they
might
could be Adam
need
and
to.
Adam
Yeah,
together.
I feel like this is a match.
They could do a YouTube program or something. Adam and Adam. I don't know. Like whatever. Somebody take this cat. I don't care who.
Yeah.
Do we know if Adam and Cat snowboards? Because that is going to be a necessity.
Yeah, my brother is a big snowboarder, so that would.
Yes. How did you know?
Right?
Absolutely.
It's his favorite hobby.
Yes, he does that all the time. We practice at the shelter in the snow. Yeah. No, he's a great guy.
He's super cute.
So yeah, we do have other younger kittens. We should mention them too. For those who are looking for something cute and cuddly, basically we have everything.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah.
Please. It's
certainly
cat season.
Yeah.
Again. Right?
Renee, this is the first time we've gotten to see you back on the show since the summer, and the first time that the both of us have gotten to see you on the show. How was the summer at the shelter? Because, I mean, different reports from different shelters across Canada have varied, and I was just wondering, was it a busier than normal summer in Owen Sound?
You know what? It's been busier than we've had in a long time, but in saying that, we've just gone through 3 years of weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I remember being really busy my entire life. So different busy.
Yeah.
We are seeing an increase in dogs, which the last few years we had a significant decline in dogs. So are we back to how things were 10 years ago, 5 years ago? I don't know. No, but it's approaching. I am very concerned about the veterinary care people are not doing. That is a worry for me, and that is something that we've not seen in years past. I'm worried about what's coming as opposed to where we're at. It worries me.
When you say veterinary care, we're talking spay and neutering.
Spay, neutering, vaccinations, and what we're seeing is a lot of people are having crisis situations and no vet, and then it's a heck of a mess. Please reach out to me if you're watching and you need low-cost vet options. We can refer you to places that you can get that done. A lot of people don't know they exist. They do. They're not well advertised. Call me if you are looking to have things done. On that note, I could mention, I mean, it's a little bit in advance, but we are having another rabies clinic October 21st. So that's a little tiny piece that we can help to make sure people are at least getting that done. Everybody knows your pet gets rabies. It's really not good. It's death. So you definitely don't want to put yourself or others at risk. And of course, if we end up with a bite situation, that's a whole mess of worms we don't want to deal with either. So October 21st, there will be an opportunity to do that. Okay. Beyond that, we are seeing a greater increase, as I said, in dogs and cats. So if you're looking for something specific and you're watching and you're like, hey, I've been looking for this little whatever forever, call me, because we are getting things that we haven't had in a long time. For example, somebody might be looking for a Chihuahua and they're like, oh gosh, the shelter never gets Chihuahuas, I'm not even going to bother. We do, and the chances of getting them are greater now than they were 2 years ago. Right. So definitely call us if you're considering it. As you can see, I'm basically saying, call me, please call me. We're in a situation, call us, right? Yeah.
Definitely, if anything, yes. Don't let those vet bills go to the side, because call and reach out first. Don't let it become a problem, and certainly don't get to the point where you're going to abandon your animal, because a lot of people, I think, maybe let it get too long, and then they do, and you still have to come in and rescue them when that happens.
Yep, we sure do. And in those circumstances, those animals are the harder ones to get back on their feet. They're the harder ones to adopt out later, because you've affected it kind of barrel rolls into a bad situation. Even something as simple as a vaccination, so your dog can get groomed. If your dog's not up to date on his vaccines, they can't see a groomer, the dog can't go to the groomer, they get a heck of a mess, and then you get infections, which then it comes to me and we've got to deal with that. So it's never good. It's definitely never good. And as I said, there are low-cost options. They're not too far away. Just call me and I'll hook you up.
519-372-1123 is the number at the animal shelter.
Got it. Well
That's
done.
also the number to call about that little guy.
Sure is.
If you'd like to be matched up with this sweet little Adam, he would definitely love to meet you.
He's purring now.
Of course he's purring. Make sure you call Renee. You can also follow the Owen Sound Animal Shelter on Facebook. Thank you so much, Renee and Adam, for coming in to see us today, and thanks for tuning in.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
This is Rogers TV, Grey County.
This program